Hey, what's up guys? John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo here with the review for you of the Nokia Surge for AT&T Wireless. This sucker's going to run you $79.99 after a $50 mail-in rebate and of course on the 2-year contract. This is running Symbian S60, which surprisingly or not surprisingly, depending on where you're located, is the most popular mobile operating system in the world, and this was my first foray into it, so I was very excited to use it and give you my opinions on it. First off, one thing I have to mention about this phone is the hardware design is bizarre. You guys saw it during the unboxing, and I'll put a link in the sidebar to the unboxing, that it is just a very strange design with this big lip. It's got a nice accelerometer that slides out to reveal a really big keyboard when you turn it, but it's just a very strange design. It's a relatively thin phone, but I've just never seen anything like this. It's nothing that I would want to show off to my friends, but it is very functional. So speaking of functional, let's talk about the Symbian S60 operating system. For those of you outside of the US, odds are you're familiar with it and you've used it. For those of you inside the US, you probably haven't had that much experience with it. And I will say that it's very, very functional. It's very usable, it's intuitive, it was easy to learn. I was able to give it to other people who had never used it before, and they were able to pick it up very quickly. So certainly, kudos to the Symbian Foundation for putting together a very intuitive operating system. Now this is not the touchscreen version that was just released for the N97. This is sort of the old school non-touchscreen, using the D-pad to click around and navigate. This does come with a full HTML Flash capable browser, so you can view Flash content right on your phone, you can play YouTube videos right from the browser, and all kinds of other cool Flash stuff, and it does work very well. It displays the website natively like it would on a computer, although the zoom controls and navigations were not so good. I would have liked sort of an easier zoom, but I can overlook that to have the Flash capability, something I wish devices like the iPhone would have. So moving right along to the Symbian OS, I will say one thing that I do like about this as well is that it displays your calendar items right below the main row of icons. If you're like me, you forget things very easily, and having to either set reminders in your calendar or go through and open your calendar on a once, twice, or 3 times a day basis to see when your meetings are can be a little bit annoying. Oftentimes you might forget to do so. On a device like the Surge, every time you turn on your phone, you see a list of what your calendar items are for that day or week or however you set it. That's something I really like. I liked that the old school BlackBerry Curves had it, something I wish my current device, the iPhone, had, so definitely give the S60 credit for that. So moving along to sort of what it looks like, it's definitely a, old school looking user interface. It doesn't look as elegant as some of the modern user interfaces. So again, like the iPhone, like Android, even like the N97 that they sort of refreshed the OS, it just looks antiquated. It looks like a phone you could have picked up 5-6 years ago. And you would have said, wow, this is looking a little bit old. Even then. But, if you like Symbian and you like the operating system, it's going to be very familiar to you. However, if you're in the US and you've not used this before, you're definitely going to want to play around with it a little bit to make sure that you like the way the operating system works. It's got a GPS in it, it's got a micro SD card slot, it's got all the goodies that you would expect from a smartphone minus Wi-Fi, so something to keep in mind when you go to do your purchase. So this is a phone, and it's got to make good phone calls. And I will say that the radio in this is very, very, very strong. I got a much better 3G signal than I did with several other devices that I lined up, including the iPhone, the Samsung Epics, and the HTC Touch Pro, all lined up together. This had the strongest 3G signal when they were sitting right next to each other. So definitely a plus to Nokia for that. Call quality was fantastic. I could hear people nice and clearly. They could hear me nice and clearly with no white noise. So if you want to use this as a phone, you're not going to have any problems. And the speakerphone was quite loud. So on a rating scale, on a 1 to 5 scale, what do you rank this? Well, it's going to be, I'm asking myself questions here. It's going to be hard to rank this, and standing alone on itself, without looking at the comparisons of other phones that are available for the carrier, it's a nice phone. It does a lot of things well. However, I don't think I could get past this atrocious design for a phone. It is really tragically ugly. It does have a nice feel in the hands, but every time I look at it, I just wonder what the designers were thinking, the engineers were thinking. So for 79 bucks, it's not a steal of a phone, it's not a free phone, it's not one of those $20 phones that AT&T has. I give it a 3. The operating system is certainly functional. It looks old. It doesn't have sort of the fun and the flair that you get with some of the newer devices that are coming out, but it is usable. So if you're first stepping into the smartphone world and you're looking for a calendar and a way to send text messages, then this is going to be a decent way to go. If you're looking for something more advanced and certainly something with a touchscreen, this is not going to be for you. So guys, hope you enjoyed my relatively lengthy review of the Nokia Surge. For exclusive content, be sure to follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/John4Lakers. And if you want to learn more about Techno Buffalo, definitely check out technobuffalo.com or follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/technobuffalo. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.